one of the world's great brewers. Westpac, you can bank on Westpac. McEwen's, you can do it with McEwen's.
Tonight, it's the battle for berth in the grand final and a crack at Essendon. Will it be Carlton or will it be North? The Blues just snuck home against a determined Sydney, but they'll be a tougher unit with that game under their belt. The Blues, no doubt, will be looking for big things from key forward Steve Kernahan. North Melbourne shot into grand final calculations when they thrashed Geelong by 10 goals. The Roos need only to reproduce that same endeavour and enthusiasm tonight, and Carlton will have a mighty match on its hands.
Yes, I'm sure we're going to be in for plenty of action here at VFL Park tonight. Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to this, the second semi-final of the Foster's Cup, Carlton and North Melbourne. Carlton have shown good early form, and North, well, against Geelong, they were sensational with that 60-point victory. Let's have a look and see how these two sides have made it just one game out of the grand final. And it's interesting that both have had similar wins. Narrow margins and a couple of big wins. Carlton defeating Collingwood impressively by 27 points, but just sneaking home, as I said, against Sydney by a point. And North Melbourne just getting home against the Eagles to the tune of 2 points, but they hammered Geelong by 60 points. And of course, plenty of financial incentive for both teams tonight. Already they've got healthy banks, but a chance to build on those. And of course, should they be successful and take out the grand final, the major purse is in excess of $85,000, and particularly for a club like North Melbourne, they would dearly love to do well in this competition. Let's now check the coaches and captain situation, because North still haven't made a final decision on their captain. Tonight it is going to be Matthew Larkin. Of course, the coaches Alex Jesselenko and Wayne Chimmelbush, and Steve Kernahan has been appointed yet again as captain of the Blues for the next season. With me in the commentary box tonight will be the master of the chalkboard, Don Scott. He's already working on stick figures, and Ian Robertson. We'll be back with all the action right after this break.
VFL Park has had its fair share of use in recent times, and today's been no exception. This Foster's Cup match will be its third. The current temperature at the moment is 18 degrees. The expected overnight low is 15. The relative humidity is 91%. There's no wind, very still conditions inside the stadium. No goal advantage for either team. The ground is slippery, and the forecast is for rainy periods.
Thank you, Michael. And joining Michael Roberts on the boundary line and in the dressing rooms tonight will be Bernie Quinlan. But now it's time to officially welcome Ian Robertson.
Thank you, Sandy. Great to be here.
And Don Scott.
Yes, great to be with you too, Sandy.
Let's have a look at the teams, boys.
Well, actually, it's interesting, Sandy, that David Kernahan, who's playing up in the back line this year, and his contest with John Longmire will be an interesting one.
Half-back line, Silvani Willie has played well there, and Carey, another interesting move, did play well there last week. McCarthy also a good player for North Melbourne.
And the centre line's very vital here at VFL Park. Some great kick gatherers on either line.
Quickly, McDonald, solid contributor. He'll really have to hold Kernahan. Johnson, 4 goals first time, only 6 points last time out, so German will have a job, but they'll also have to contain German because he's very attacking.
And Carlton will be looking for a big effort from John Dorotich, both kicking goals and keeping the ball in the forward line.
And the following division, Hepburn had a day out against Keenan Stoneham last week, but whether he does again this week remains to be seen because he's up against Madden.
Interchange players for the Blues, Dunlop, Ian Herman, an experienced player, Fraser Murphy, a tremendous interchange player, and young Luke O'Sullivan.
And for North Melbourne, Steele, now they've already made a change there. Bryce is on interchange with Brenton Harris and also Stevens, so McRae must be on the ground.
Okay, here we go. The second semi-final, the winner to go on and meet the Bombers here at VFL Park next Saturday night. Hepburn looking for another big night, but this time he's up against Madden. Trying to force his way through was McRae for North Melbourne. Couldn't do so.
It was a good effort by Hepburn, Sandy. The first knockout there showed he played with a lot of confidence to jump up as high as what he did. It's a good effort by the young fella.
Donald McDonald has picked up John Dorotich.
Still virtually in the middle. Umpires Sheehan and Russo in charge of proceedings. Madden down to Gleeson. Gleeson gets the first kick of the game. going out wide towards the flank. Unable to control it initially was Brayshaw. Bear in mind this ball will be a little slippery though, because we've had persistent rain. Brayshaw in over the top once again. Johnston was there. Larkin now for North ahead of Dennis. It's spooned out in towards Carlton's attacking zone. First to it will be Angus towards the boundary line and over. In fact, Smith was there to push it over.
And that ball will become like a greasy pig, Sandy, because of the rain out here. It is very, very hard to handle, and already you can see that.
Stephen Kernahan doing the ruck work. Fortunately comes out the back to Derui. Derui's high kick inside 50 metres. Punched away by that strong North Melbourne defence. Gleeson over the top went Brayshaw, and the free kick will be taken by Gleeson. Gleeson wide, kicks it to the front of the square, and chipping in to take a good mark for North Melbourne. Looked like it might have been McRae. The kick goes back into the centre. No mark taken. It was Angus, actually. It was a good mark taken by that player. And now a free kick has been paid further afield to Ben Buckley, who has had one try at the captaincy for North Melbourne.
Yes, they've tried 3 or 4 players and still no decision. Crocker trying to soccer off the ground initially, now trying to pick up. Cracker, this is Andrew Cracker, the third brother. Is he going to goal? No, he's not. Well, he's wearing Jimmy's jumper, and he posts the first score of the night. Behind, David Kernahan brings it back into play, going to the outer side, looking for Madden, down in front of Cracker again. Leaves it. McCarthy tries to get through, does get it away effectively, however. The long kick goes in towards full forward by Crocker. Into the pocket now. Can North do something here on a very tight angle as Carey? He snaps in towards goal, and he's got it!
Oh, what a lucky shot for goal. Wayne Carey, a real find at centre-half forward. He's only 18 years of age. Hard up against the boundary line. And we'll just watch this on replay. Longmire and Kernahan. And Kernahan's a real surprise packet down there at the centre half, the full back position. And look at that. Didn't really look at the goal. And it always beats class, doesn't it?
Well, it was a fantastic kick. He looked as though he had a bit of a sneak over his shoulder. Hepburn gets the tap out. Forward. Attempted tap off the ground. In the bottom there is Fraser Brown with Stephen Silvani. Attempted kick by Robertson. Umpire calls for a bounce as Stephen Silvani gives the back of his head a bit of a rub. And in close quarters, it'll be pretty tight tonight, I would think. North Melbourne fighting hard. Hepburn. Again, it's aerial tactics personified. The ball comes back now to Smith. Smith's kick across his shoulder, and it's a good mark in front of the pack taken by Pickering.
It's the second player to lose his boot.
Pickering kicks the ball wide and quickly. Larkin's made good position. Strong, but a poor kick by Matthew Larkin.
But good play by Ian Aiken on the mark. He just put Matthew Larkin on just off for that fraction of a second, and the ball went over the boundary line. It would have been a good pass otherwise.
Gleeson from the back pocket, the winner tonight, pocketing $20,000, the loser 10. Of course, each of these sides so far in the competition have each received $25,000. And if ever a side needed to boost its bank, it is North Melbourne. I'm quite sure that they'll be hoping they can do well. Madden up a little too early. Robertson at the back couldn't get it. Derui's kick almost taken by himself yet again. Pushed wide. North doing the bulk of the attacking. Now the opportunity is with McRae. In towards half forward. McCarthy. The handball out in front. Is this going to be another one? Crocker kicks high. Has it come back? No.
Actually, that was a poor kick, I thought, then by Darren Crocker. Don, he was in the clear and should have hooked that around.
Yeah, but they're finding space, aren't they, the North Melbourne guys? The way they got that ball through a rather crowded forward line, I was impressed with that.
David Kernahan's kick in finds Elvin, and Elvin drops a sitter, but he's got plenty of time to recover and kicks with the right foot 45 metres out towards half-back. Hepburn has infringed against his opponent, and the umpire has paid a free kick. The players between wing and half-back for the Blues. Free kick to be taken by Justin Madden. He's looking for the pass further afield, but now kicks it high in the Stephen Kernahan direction. That player can't mark. The kick off the ground goes wide, and the boundary line asking now for a throw-in. Stephen Kernahan there.
Just the ball, please.
And his opponent for the evening is Warwick Angus, who did pretty well against the Cats last Sunday. Good tap out. Goes in the direction of Povey. He's well dispossessed, but he goes after it again. Buckley was the tackler. Now on this occasion, the umpire awards a free kick. And is that 50 metres, Don?
Well, I was just wondering about that decision on Povey. I was very ticky-touch, would have let the game go. But it is 50 metres. We watched this. Now, I thought Povey might have dropped the ball, left it there, just at that critical moment he was tackled. It was unfortunate, the 50-metre penalty being paid.
So Povey just outside the 50-metre line. Plenty of flyers, including Dorotich and Kernahan. Johnston at the bottom for Carlton. Angus tries to get the hand pass out. Oh, intercepted by Edgar. In towards goal he goes. Keeps it inside the boundary line momentarily. Now it is taken over. And so a throw in Carlton's right forward pocket. Brett Allison, the one under real pressure there. And Shimmer. Wayne Schimmelbusch, club record holder. 306 games. Now in the coach's box. Just over 15 minutes of this first term remaining. Dorotich from the back. Out in front, the high kick by Brayshaw towards the defensive 50-metre line. Well, Gleeson went from behind to try and spoil. Now he's got to apply the tackle, and he's quick to do it too. And eventually takes it over the line. And his opposing coach tonight, Alex Jesselenko. Carlton looking for a big improvement on last season. And so too would North, who finished midfield, 9 and 13 for the year. Gleeson. Almost a dangerous kick off the ground by McCarthy, but it finishes with McRae. Here's a chance for North Melbourne to go deep into their attacking zone. McRae's kick is long down towards the pocket. Aitken has the fist at the back. And it goes over the line for a throw in, this time in North Melbourne's left forward pocket.
Andrew Cracker, a very quick player. He's much thicker than what his brothers are. He kicks like Phil. Looks a little like Jimmy, but much thicker.
Yes, it'll be great to see him playing in the North Melbourne colours, the third one of the Cracker brothers. Good tackle. Was that fair? Now the advantage has been paid, so the free kick must have gone to Carlton. Silvani kicks the Blues out of trouble. Edgar leads Allison in the race for the ball and gathers it pretty well, but he can't break clear. Great tackle by Allison. Oh, diving on the ball and tripped was Schwass, and Schwass will take the free kick for North Melbourne. Represented Victoria last year, Wayne Schwass. The kick towards centre-half forward, no mark taken. Blues defence under pressure. Crocker throwing himself on the ball. Elvin, can he find some space? The hand pass is smothered. Attempted kick off the ground by Carey. Larkin was a chance. Dispossessed. A lot of scrambly football at half forward there for North Melbourne. Pickering kicks the ball towards full forward. Longmire can't control the ball. DeRuy handled. Still after the ball. Ramiro gets his right foot to the ball. It might bounce through. No, it just misses to the right. So another score on the board to North Melbourne. They've done all the scoring. They're 1-3. Carlton yet to score.
Who are you picking tonight, Don?
Don't hold the block,
You really put me on the spot again.
You've never tipped anyone in your life.
North Melbourne.
DeRuy towards centre wing. Majizak has got to beat 2. And he takes it over the line, and he copped a decent old bump. Courtesy of Smith over the line. But a throw in. Madden leaning from the back. Smith again. The quick hand pass out to McCarthy. A high kick in towards half forward. Larkin tries to soccer off the ground. Now Jim Cracker. A long hand pass on to Ramiro. Another one. Here's an opportunity for North Melbourne through Carey. Shoots in towards goal. There's another one.
So the bounce back in the centre. Hepburn gets the tap out. Pickering gets a quick kick towards half forward, and Carey marks. And he's given Stephen Silvani a bit of a runaround at the moment. Buckley takes the hand pass and goes with a long one into the goal square. It'll bounce through. Shepherding is against, maybe Crocker. Umpire coming in. All clear. Goal to all.
Now that goal started in the centre, as we see there. North Melbourne 3-3-21. Carlton yet to score, but that goal started in the centre. I mentioned Hepburn. The confidence obviously carrying on from last week. Here's the shepherding. It would have been a definite free kick. But Madden will have to lift his game there a little bit because Hepburn's getting the hit out. They get it straight out of the centre. North Melbourne. Let's see what happens this time.
Again, a good bounce by the umpire. Madden gets it down, but ineffectively. Ramiro gets the ball towards centre half forward. Blackwell slips over at a critical stage. Brilliantly collected by Cracker, and the kick is magic. McCarthy's on the end of it. And McCarthy,
You've got it, mate.
an opportunity for North Melbourne's 4th goal, and they are killing Carlton.
Thanks, mate. Yep.
Just going back to that centre bounce. Justin Madden got his foot up pretty high. Now Dunlop's going to come on, actually. So that's an interesting move.
McCarthy is kicking from about 35 metres out directly in front, and the ball just slews off the inside of his foot and goes through for behind. So a bit of bad luck there for North Melbourne, but have a look at that scorecard. They've had 7 scoring shots, and the Blues, well, haven't been over half forward as yet.
And Carlton playing the huddle too.
Great start by the Roos. Kernahan again. Alvin trying to get free. Can't do so. At the back was Edgar. Loses out to Cracker. Does some exciting handball work early on in this game. Shoveled forward down towards the half-forward line again. Bundled out was McRae, but by gee, they're having a decent old dip. Silvani under pressure, heads towards the boundary line and puts it over in the back pocket.
He's got a lot of confidence, Andrew Cracker. The way he contested that ball with Tom Elvin out on the outer flank there when the ball was being kicked in, he got in and pushed him out of the way. He wasn't going to stand for any tomfoolery.
Or Tom Elvinish.
From Tom Elvin.
Oh dear. Let's have the throw in.
Oh.
Like McCarthy coming over the top. Big fly. Kernahan setting himself for the mark, but is effectively spoiled. Hammered back inside towards Dennis. Leading Brayshaw, but still gets claimed. Majizak. A high kick as Johnston out of position. He was, then tried to get back and spoil, but a fine mark by German.
I thought he
Not
controlled
paid.
it to ground.
Not paid. Romero through. Back to Peter German again. Play on is the call. It's going against North at the moment. Johnston using vigour. Dorotic through. Needs support. Puts the handball down in towards the pocket. German still going like a German tank he is. Into the back pocket. He'll pick it up and clear for North Melbourne.
Oh, great play by Peter German to persevere there, and he's rewarded with a kick on that outer half-back flank. And the short pass finds Buckley closer to the centre. Buckley's kick is 50 metres plus, up towards the half-forward line. At the back, chance for McCarthy. He leads Derui a merry chase. The hand pass goes back towards Carey. Blackwell in there for Carlton. McCarthy working hard at the bottom of the pack. Derui looks for the short pass. It's effective, and the mark has been taken by Brown. Brown now called to play on. Kicks across his body, up towards half forward. Goes through the back of all players. Majizak at the back has read it pretty well, although he's perhaps a bit fortunate. Up towards 50 metres. He needs to touch it again. He doesn't. He goes for goal and misses to the left.
Gee, that was interesting the way Majizak was coming down there, touching the ball to the ground. Dorotic didn't know which way to lead. His hand was going up. He was moving this way, that way. It's better that a forward is predictable. And Bryce is coming on for North Melbourne. Hepburn going off for a rest.
But the Blues are on the scoreboard as Romero hoiks a high one over centre wing. Silvani now under pressure. Going with him is Carey, who's kicked a couple of early goals for the Roos. The umpire says it's his.
I thought it hit the deck, Pete. Hit the deck, mate.
Inside North's attacking zone.
Great grab, though.
Edgar can't take it cleanly. Neither can Bryce. They both go in for a second attempt. Bryce comes out with it, getting a high kick, putting North down towards their 50-metre line. Aitken used the body well against Crocker, but couldn't complete the mark. Cracker is there, still with Aitken. Sockers with the left boot. Gets it clear, out towards Edgar, but he's under pressure. North will not lie down, and this was their attitude last week, and it paid such handsome dividends against Geelong. Whereas the Carlton defence really feeling the pinch at the moment. Brayshaw and Dennis, neither can take it. Pulled over his body was Bryce. Edgar juggles it.
So Edgar, the young recruit from Western Australia that Carlton will be looking a lot for from young Stephen Edgar. The kick goes up towards half forward. Stephen Kernahan shepherded off the ball.
Well, I don't know. I thought Buckley was running back and it was just accidental that Kernahan ran. But it's a 50-metre penalty.
Well, that's a bit of undisciplined play by North Melbourne, because this is going to give Stephen Kernahan a real chance to kick a goal, whereas it was a big doubt.
No, eyes on the ball, Buckley, on that occasion. It was Kernahan that ran into him.
Well, the opportunity for him to kick a goal from where the free kick was given was a very, very limited one, but now he won't have any trouble whatsoever with the distance. Directly in front from about 20 metres. A chance for Carlton's first goal. North 3-4, lead the Blues, one behind. North Melbourne 3-4, lead the Blues, two behind.
So from the throw-in,
Thanks, Bryce.
by John Russo saying he'll take charge. 20 points the difference. North Melbourne lead, with Carlton managing so far only two behinds with that bad miss from Steve Kernahan. Kernahan does the ruck work there, but it goes straight to Cracker. Well tackled. Ball runs free. Edgar tries to storm his way through. Can't do so. From Johnston to Cracker. He's proved an exciting prospect. Now Shane Robertson from 60 metres, looking for Dorotage. Clever use of the body, but he couldn't control it. Povey has a chance, still inside 50. He's claimed, sits over the ball.
Holding his leg. We thought he was in possession of the ball. Oh, well. It's good we got the microphones.
Larkin takes the short pass, and Matthew Larkin, pretty creative player, no exception, gives it to McDonald. McDonald's long kick inside 50 metres for North Melbourne. Silvani leads Carey for one of the rare occasions so far in this first term. Wayne Carey has done very, very well on Stephen Silvani at centre-half forward. We've got a boundary throw-in with 6 3/4 minutes left in the term. Aitken, Crocker, Dunlop in front. Bryce, the four of them go for it. Crocker gets the tap out over the top. Silvani leaves it for Alvin. Buckley there for North Melbourne, and we'll have a boundary throw-in. North Melbourne showing Carlton a clean pair of heels at this stage.
And a chance to add to their score down in their attacking zone. Aitken and Cracker. Aitken the victor on that occasion. His kick is only short. Looking for Povey. Schwass is there. The handball goes over the top. Picked up by Ben Buckley, who goaled earlier in the quarter. But his kick goes over the line.
Thanks, Ross.
20-point margin, just over 6 minutes remaining. North leading. 1 goal to Buckley, 2 to Carey in a blistering opening few minutes. Dunlop, front spot over Bryce. But Dealey love another one. And is Pickering going to get it for them? Every chance.
Pretty poor effort by Tommy Alvin, didn't you think, Don?
Yes, I was impressed with just the way the ball got down there through Hepburn. He's really improved in the ruck. Oh, I'm sorry, Bryce. Very impressed with those two guys because they got the ball moving. Pickering rang on it, and as you said, Ian, it was not a good free kick from Alvin, but as young North Melbourne follows, doing very well.
So Pickering, is this number 4 for North Melbourne? It looks good.
Back in the centre, the Blues get the tap out, but Buckley kicks it forward for North Melbourne, up inside their 50-metre area. Under pressure again, Carlton. Larkin, Cracker, tackled by Aitken, ball runs free. Crocker, McCarthy, another goal to North.
What a quarter.
You've got to take your hats off to young Cracker there. As you see, 34 playing 2. 32 points the difference, but it was Andrew Cracker that put himself in. He put it, watch this. They come out and contest Larkin. Now watch Cracker here. Really puts himself in. And the mere fact that he put himself in, he pushed the ball forward. He did all the work there. Very well done, young fellow.
So, great start by North. McCarthy a goal, Buckley 1 and 2 to Carey. Centre bounce again. Can they take it away? Robertson can't do anything with it. An attempted soccer off the ground only goes 4 or 5 metres from Pickering. Alvin claimed. North's tackling has been ferocious.
Hasn't got it!
So this game is forming the pattern of last Sunday's match.
Yep.
Play on!
Ramiro's short pass finds Bryce. He gets around his opposition pretty easily. The kick to Cracker, dispossessed by Blackwell. Oh, he's gone. It's, Majizak, Blackwell, Schwass for North Melbourne. Nearly caught, but breaks away. Left foot kick in towards the forward pocket. Crocker, shot for goal. Could this be number 6? It is. Great play, North.
And in the background, as we check the score, the stretcher is being called for. That Carlton player has not moved, but North Melbourne certainly are 6-4 to 2 behinds.
Well, you couldn't believe this. I just shook my head, but that goal from Crocker, here it is set up. It's unfortunate Majizak, you see there, left behind, and here he is, good play there. The other impressive thing, and I mentioned it, Majizak, is the way the players are now learning to use the hip and shoulder. And it was quite evident halfway through last year that the umpires were prepared to pay a good hip and shoulder as we used to know it. They'd let it go. Now here it is here. It was Buckley, I think, coming through. And he did down the centre.
Don, he did cop a heavy knock earlier out on this wing.
Exactly right, from Ross Smith. So it wouldn't be a good night. No, it wouldn't be a good night. And Carlton are making another change as we're just waiting. Shane Robertson going off. He really hasn't had a touch yet. And Luke O'Sullivan. And also Povey's gone off and been replaced by Ian Herman. So
they want to
pulling
swing
a lot
the
of
changes.
changes.
If you've got 4 fresh blokes on the interchange bench and you're 6 goals to nothing down, you'd have to use them, wouldn't you, Sandy?
You've got to do something.
Yep.
Well, that's bad luck for Majizak anyway. But North Melbourne have run right in this first quarter.
A lot of it has come from that centre bounce too.
Yeah. Now, this little fellow that's just about to come on, he came on against Collingwood and really turned the game in Carlton's favour. That is Fraser Murphy. And I thought not a bad player the last outing against, was it West? No, they didn't play. Swans last week. He did reasonably well, I thought, and I was surprised to see him line up on the interchange bench.
So a slight delay while trainers carry Majizak from the ground.
Peter Shockman, the phys ed there with Fraser Murphy. Shocko's been to just about every club in the league.
So Majizak off and Murphy on. And back to the action once again. Carlton somewhat shell-shocked by this opening from the Roos. So a bounce in the middle. 38 points the margin, favouring North Melbourne. DeRuy takes it away from Larkin. Does well. Pushing the ball towards the boundary line, but North just keep persisting and persisting. Eventually pushed over by Ben Buckley.
Don, I'd love to see the statistics of how many times North have taken the ball away from that centre as against Carlton.
Oh, well, they're doing well there, Ian. We mentioned about the ruckman jumping up, but they're not frightened to get in after the ball when it hits the turf.
Boundary throw in, half forward flank for North Melbourne. The kick towards centre wing. Murphy's in the action. Allison bumps him off the ball. Fraser Brown is pulled down a little too high. No, he didn't have the ball, according to umpire Brian Sheehan. So Fraser Brown on centre wing kicks the ball up towards centre half forward. That could have nearly been a mark. McCarthy tries to tap the ball to the advantage of German. Johnson gets his first touch up inside 50 metres. Edgar, Gleeson swooping on the ball. Herman, here's Carlton's first coming up. No mistake by Herman.
So the Blues on the board as far as goals are concerned. Will that inspire them? They trail by 32 points from the centre. I think a free kick has been given away by Bryce. So Alvin picks it up quickly, kicks Carlton into attack down towards the half-forward line. The target was Johnston, couldn't take it. The hurried kick by Brown goes inside 50. Gleeson is the danger man there once again, but it's pushed over the line by Donald McDonald. Let's have a report on Majizak. How is he, Michael Roberts?
Well, Mark Majizak was taken straight up the race by the doctor, but I managed to get the physio, and he said that he's suffering from bad concussion.
Throw in. Dorotich from the back trying to use the body. Brown going through, couldn't take the ball. Brayshaw waits.
Knock it on!
Knock it on, says the umpire, and so they oblige. Down towards Alvin, does well. Picks it up and gets a kick down to the forward line. Dorotich at the back. If it sits, he's in business. Here's the second one for the Blues. So Carlton come back late in this first term. They trailed 2-2 to North Melbourne 6-4.
Well, he did extremely well. Sandy said, well, I'll go a little bit further. I say extremely well, Tom Alvin. What a terrific effort there just to get the ball out. It was a good shot by Dorotich on the angle, but he really didn't have any opposition as he ran into that open goal. But Tom Alvin, a very good effort.
Yeah, tremendous stuff there by Tommy Alvin. The bounce back in the centre, 26 points North's lead. They've kicked 6 goals in a quarter of night football, which is not a bad effort. Kick forward by O'Sullivan. Goes through all players. Now there's a struggle at ground level. Schwass there for North Melbourne. Herman over the top.
I think I'd be bringing Justin Madden back on.
Just for the last few minutes?
No, just to get in there at the centre bounces, because he put his knee up the last time he went in, curtailed the opposition ruckman, but Dunlop's really got not much idea of the centre bounce work.
Free kick this time going the way of North. You heard a push, and it will be Liam Pickering to take it. Down towards half forward. And a good
Jose
mark
Ramiro
taken
was
by
trying to
Blackwell.
rove the pack, didn't keep his eye on the ball. It was Blackwell who kept his eye on the ball.
And did well. David Kernahan now, defensive side of centre wing. A high drop punt down, looking for his brother. Can't take it at the first attempt. He's at the back, quick to recover. Pushes the handball deeper into his zone, and Johnston. Here's another one coming up for Carlton. If Gleeson can get free, he can't. He looked at the umpire for the free kick.
They all did, Sandy.
And it did not eventuate.
Well, he had a hold of the jumper, the North Melbourne player. I thought he might have had a bit high, but obviously the umpire thought that the jumper was grabbed down around the back area.
Kernahan doing the ruck work again. Edgar trying to force his way through. Stolen, however, by McRae. North out of trouble. Down towards centre wing. Carey is there. Has kicked 2 goals in opposition to Stephen Silvani over the line.
North Melbourne have reverted back to their forward line setup, having both forward pocket and full forward with their immediate opponents deep on the forward line. The rest of the forward line left open. Those fellows able to lead into the space.
Boundary throw in. Bryce from behind. Dunlop in front, gets it down to Blackwell. Good ruck play there by Dunlop. The kick towards Stephen Kernahan, and he couldn't do much with it. Angus there for North Melbourne, doing a pretty good job so far.
He's very, very impressive, isn't he, Angus?
Yes, a dour defender.
Bit splayed-footed when he runs, but boy, he sticks to the job.
Bryce and Dunlop again. This time Bryce gets the knockout. It goes back towards Brown for Carlton. Brown's kick, Kernahan's underneath it. Big punch comes from Brayshaw, and he goes after it, gets the hand pass wide to Schwass. Under pressure, the kick was all right. Silvani and Carey vie. Blackwell interfered with perhaps there by Andrew Cracker. And Andrew, yes, you are frustrated a little, but unfortunately you did give the free kick away. So arguing's not going to do you any good. The kick by... It was good effort, yes. Blackwell, Ellison on the end of it. Hawker's a little late on the scene. The kick goes out towards Edgar, and he takes a pretty good mark because he knew someone was coming, and it was John McCarthy. Edgar's kick in towards the centre. Alvin flies too early. Pickering was the North Melbourne player. O'Sullivan, strong, gets past, the hand pass. Murphy, back to O'Sullivan. Hand pass over the top. Good running by O'Sullivan. Gleeson goes for goal and hits the post.
They're very dangerous, Carlton, when those little men run free. Very, very dangerous.
Close to siren time. German. Waits and then delivers long. Well, there's 3 Carlton players there and only 1 North Melbourne jumper. Herman with the left foot hooking it round his body in towards Kernahan. Can't take it. Gleeson at the bottom, but the North defence holding strong, and Allison comes away as the siren sounds to end a fine first quarter of football in this second semi-final. And Donald McDonald saying to John Dorotich, look, it is quarter time, the siren has sounded. And I would imagine Donald will have the last laugh if he says, have a look at the scoreboard at the moment. North Melbourne, 6-4, 40. Carlton, 2-3, 15. Quarter time in the second semi-final. North 6-4-40 lead Carlton 2-3-15, and if sport is your go tomorrow, 7 is the place to be, because tomorrow morning Bruce McAvaney is joined by J.A. and Dixie Marshall for the biggest sports action and behind-the-scenes stories in sports world. Sunil Gavaskar and Derek Underwood, two of cricket's great names, will be on the show. And as far as horse racing is concerned, Bo Rogue and Vic Rail. I don't know that Bo Rogue will be in the studio, but I know Vic Rail most certainly will be. And for car racing fans, Dick Johnson will be coming to us live from Symonds Plains. And then tomorrow, the giants of the sports are back for the launch of the exciting new NBL season. It's the Kmart Aussie Basketball Classic. And then, of course, I mentioned Symonds Plains. All that action is coming to you in the Shell Ultra Australian Touring Car Championships following that. And for Melbourne viewers, following the car racing, see the world's best skiers compete in Australia's top water skiing event, the Moomba Masters. And it's all coming your way on 7 Sport.
John Russo holds the ball aloft to start the second term, and Carlton just getting back into it in the latter part of that first term. Justin Madden now back on the ground into the ruck, gets the tap out. Attempted kick off the ground by Schwass, interfered there by Brown. Now Brown's on the end of the Murphy hand pass, and Fraser Brown does well to get the ball forward. Was it touched? Didn't matter anyway because it went through the behinds. And another score to the Blues. Dunlop, Robertson and Povey on the interchange bench there for the Blues. Donald McDonald will kick the ball back into play for North Melbourne.
Going wide, very wide, and eventually over the line with Fraser Brown on the full. So Brown,
I thought he kicked it.
Take the kick. Going short, was looking for Dorothy. North will get out of strife here. Kick is by Allison, up towards the centre. Carlton came back late in the first term, so the Roos will be very keen to get the first one in the second quarter, just to steady the ship a little, even though they do have a very handy lead. Kept in play, but only momentarily, by Longmire. Carey, who kicked 2 in the first quarter, couldn't do anything with it, and so a throw in to take place. Madden's extra height. Well, you heard the umpire. It was a Carlton ball, and the advantage paid to Gleeson. So he kicks long, up towards centre wing. Kernahan in the pack, couldn't take it. Waiting down is German, claimed by Murphy, but he gets his kick only as far as Alvin.
Alvin spots a player wide. That's Gleeson. Good play by Alvin. Gleeson thumps it high towards full forward. Johnson nearly took the mark. Running onto it, Murphy. Kicks a goal. No, misses to the left. Well, a quick kick by Murphy.
He's unbelievable at that. He has got that ability. Kevin Bartlett also had it. You can't teach guys. They've just got it. And he runs with the flight of the ball, and he's just there at the right time.
KB never missed, though.
McDonald again. Carlton in attack. Ball comes to ground. The kick is high by Luke O'Sullivan. In towards full forward. Dorotich and McDonald. They've had a decent old tangle already in this match. This time the advantage with McDonald. High, but not a great deal of distance. Kernahan at the back of the pack. Alvin in front. Gets a quick kick down in towards full forward. Dorotich again spoiled. Edgar clear. Onto the right boot, but beautifully smothered. Now a chance for Dennis. He too is smothered. Good defensive work by North Melbourne, and they're out of trouble again.
Ellison's kick goes to Ramiro. Ramiro back onto the right foot. He's downed after he kicks it. Goes out towards the wing. Punch away by Derui. Gatherers by McRae. McRae's kick towards centre-half forward. The umpire calling touch play on. Blackwell gathers well for Carlton, and Blackwell kicks it wide. Hawker's on his own on centre wing on that outer side, and Hawker, probably his first kick for the game. Kick towards centre-half forward. The high flyer was Kernahan, couldn't mark. Now the ball is in dispute. Opportunity there for Brayshaw. Gets it out to German. German now. Brayshaw again. The handballer earlier was Angus. Brayshaw, the ball now bouncing awkwardly. Hawker, McRae, just gets his foot to the ball. A good stop by Alvin. Play on, advantage rule is paid. O'Sullivan again, who's done well since coming onto the ground. The kick is a beauty, and Kernahan takes the mark about 35 metres from goal on a 45-degree angle.
Just look at the man on his mark, Angus. He was collected by Johnson earlier in the initial part of the first quarter, and he still doesn't look as if he's fully recovered, although he's been involved in play. He's just buckled over slightly there. There he is on screen, gasping for deep breaths.
Stephen Kernahan, who has already had one chance in the first term, and his second chance is close. Misses to the left. You get the impression, Don, that the wind might be favouring that left-hand end of the
Well, he also hooked it in too, wasn't it? It was a bit of a hook like a golf shot. So maybe...
McDonald. 2-6 now, Carlton. Kernahan again. Herman looking for Alvin. Through his hands it goes. Pretty slippery ball. O'Sullivan claim. Still on the bottom though, Luke O'Sullivan. So too Romero and Larkin acting captain for the night. North yet to decide who their skipper will be for the year. They've tried out several. Still in Carlton's attacking zone, just outside their 50-metre line. Kernahan up with the right fist, down towards Dennis. Pulled off the ball, was unable to get an effective kick. A chance for Schwash to clear. Towards centre wing. Madden. Can't take it. Blackwell recovers nicely. Gets it away to Hawker onto Alvin. And Carlton go deep into their attacking zone again. Kernahan back into the pack. Can't take it. Under pressure, but they get out of it. Romero receiving from Allison. Now North have it in the middle. Larkin's running. He's not used. He may be used now. He's run right down from half-back, Matthew Larkin. He's on the 50-metre line. He steadies, shoots in towards goal, and it goes over the line in the left forward pocket.
He's a real shuffler, Matthew Larkin, there on screen there, but he generates a lot of speed over the ground. He is very, very deceptive and extremely strong.
big legs, big calves and big thighs for a little fellow. Madden in the ruck, gets the tap down towards the front. Carey can't break clear. Neither can Longmire. Crocker is dispossessed. Kick out by Alvin to the half-back area. Overrunning it was Herman. Knocking it away from Schwass. O'Sullivan is there, slipping over. Goes back to do the tackling, but Schwass, oh, brilliant football by Schwass. Somehow on the boundary line found space. Gave the hand pass to Buckley. Buckley into the forward pocket. Longmire, it slips through his fingers. Tries to get the ball over towards Crocker. Now it's deemed as out of bounds, and the umpire will come and ball it in about 15 metres around from the North Melbourne goal. North Melbourne 6-4, lead Carlton 2-6.
Here's the throw in. Madden with the left hand. Alvin soccers off the ground. So too Silvani. Carlton have pushed it back towards the centre, but that's as far as it goes. The opportunity is with McRae. High in towards full forward. Longmire has it fisted down. Snap in towards goal is going right across the face of goal. And no score for McCarthy. So we'll find it being brought back into play by Ian Aitken.
Kick it over his head! Over his head! Thank you!
Well, politeness is a marvellous thing. I wonder if Don ever said thank you on the football
Manners
field.
maketh the man, Sandy.
Another throw in. On the 50-metre line. Oh, bursting through was Buckley. And standing his ground, Dennis. O'Sullivan. Claim. He did get it out, as you heard the umpire say. Cracker now. Trying to weave some magic. Alvin. Quick kick. And the sliding mark is taken by Murphy. Thought about the hand pass onto Brown, but now goes back. And goes in towards Kernahan in the centre. Brayshaw and Johnston. Johnston handles it well. Comes back onto the left foot. The bounce, well, it won't, because getting there in time is Donald McDonald. Does well.
Hand pass off to Smith. Smith's short pass finds Brayshaw. Over the top to German. North Melbourne have got loose players. McCarthy tries to get past Alvin. Hand pass is effective. Romero spills it, but he's got a chance, has he? Edgar, the tackle, perhaps not quite effective enough. German's on the end of the handball. Up towards full forward. David Kernahan punches it down to his own advantage. He's being held
Well done.
from behind.
That was well done by the umpire to see that Longmire was holding Kernahan.
Hand pass off to Aitken. Aitken out wide, looking for Silvani. The ball comes to ground. Good play by McCarthy. Dispossessed by Hawker. And the umpire's picked a free kick out of it, has he? Yes, he has. And North Melbourne supporters would be pretty disappointed, I would feel, with that decision. Hawker kicks it out towards Elvin. And punched away by Brayshaw. And Brayshaw, Don, looks like a guy. Kicks are going to be very, very hardly won.
Very impressive, very, very impressive. But I was looking at Adrian Gleeson behind play. The doctor or the physio went out to him, looked at his hands, so obviously he is not 100%.
22 points the margin. Madden gets a free kick for holding. Kernahan can't take it. Sock it off the ground. The umpire's having plenty to say tonight. German went over the top of Dorotich. Gets it on to Johnston. Johnston with the left foot kicks towards goal and puts it through.
And back in the centre, Carlton, 16 points in arrears. Madden gets the tap out. Big punch there by Buckley. Good gather by Carey. Hand pass goes back to Schwass. Schwass up towards full forward. Punched away by Aitken. Ball at the back. Crocker goes for goal. And misses rather badly in the finish.
Just as they balled up and got that ball down, we see David Kernahan going off the ground. Now, he really did walk gingerly to the dugout. You could see there, so obviously there is something wrong. He's been a very impressive competitor in the full-back line.
Blackwell kicks out wide. Edgar, nice gather. Left foot kick towards the wing. Aitken under pressure from Hepburn. Hepburn does pretty well. Madden, Robertson, Hawker, and the Blues are now into attack. Within goal scoring distance, it goes over the back. Both McDonald and Dorotich slipping. Smith takes it to the goal square, gathers pretty well. Hand passes back to McDonald with composure, and North Melbourne out of trouble temporarily. McDonald's kick metres. Madden in front, taps it to Robertson. Robertson gets it to Kernahan. A brilliant pass by Kernahan finds Dorotich in front of McDonald, and perhaps Donald McDonald a little slow to recover from the kick out, Don.
Yes, but he's also been very impressive early because he's come out and attacked the ball in, but he's allowed to make, I suppose, one mistake, and it's always highlighted when a full back makes a mistake.
Well, can Dorotich convert? The drop punt kick is slightly inaccurate and through for another behind to Carlton.
Let's go down to the boundary line for a report on David Kernahan. Michael Roberts.
As you said, Sandy, he walked up very gingerly, very disappointed, and they're icing his right hamstring.
So Carlton having their injury problems at the moment. Buckley to Brayshaw. Brayshaw sending it north in towards their attacking zone. Silvani, the juggler, decides to head out wide, but it's not wide enough as Pickering gets the hand pass away. North want a steadying goal badly. In towards full forward, the kick. Crocker is there, Longmire is there. Dennis spoils from behind, picked up by Crocker on the boundary line. Alvin comes storming through, played Tommy Alvin. Great desperation to just go straight through to Wayne Blackwell. Put the Blues out of trouble as he finds Silvani on the half-back flank. Good solid mark by Silvani as he goes into the centre. Edgar tries to shovel it out. Shane Robertson has just come onto the ground, replacing Kernahan. Herman out in front of Murphy. If it sits, Fraser Murphy is deadly dangerous in the pocket. Shrugs one. Tries to get the handball away to co-small man Gleeson. He's under pressure. The North tackling's been pretty good. And the mark taken on the last line of defence.
Isn't he a marvellous tackler? Brett Ellison. I was going to say Tommy Ellison, his father, but Brett, what a marvellous tackler. He goes like a little fox terrier after a rat.
McDonald.
Interesting.
Towards centre wing. Oh, gee. Dorotich went up so high he bounced when he came down. Schwass keeps it in play nicely. North starting to steady down towards their half-forward line, but they want a goal. DeRui called to play on to Brown with a left foot. Nice-looking kick towards Shane Robertson, and nipping in front of him is Tommy Alvin, who's having a fine game.
Playing well, Alvin, keeping Carlton in the game. The ball up towards full forward. It slips through Allison's hands. Angus is there, and he's the first to recover. The hand pass to Hepburn. Back it goes to Allison. Allison's little chip is effective, and the mark is taken by Pickering on the defensive side of centre. Pickering's kick towards centre-half forward. It's not a bad kick either, because on the end of it is Wayne Carey. The hand pass goes to Larkin. Larkin's kick into the pocket. Longmire having a rare bad night. Dispossessed by Dennis. Kick off the ground by Hawker. And it'll be a throw-in on the 50-metre line. John Longmire just a little bit out of it. Has been a good player for North Melbourne in their 2 wins in this competition, but having a little quiet one tonight.
Still 16 points the margin. And the ironical cheers go up as a free kick from that throw-in is going the way of North Melbourne.
Rather technical, Sandy.
Well, Carey's going to take it. He's kicked a couple. He's going to be kicking. Have a look at it, Don.
Oh, rather technical, but anyway, the hand was on the shoulder, admittedly, but
Carey going for his third. Will distance test him?
That's it. Thank you.
Yes, it will. Into the square it goes. Aitken flew high. Blackwell short to Hawker. Hawker steadies, sees Herman on the half-back flank and finds him. Longer to centre wing. Robertson waits for Dorotich to try and flick it down. That didn't happen. It was prevented, and Smith takes it back into attack for North Melbourne. Deep into their attacking zone. Madden is there. Blackwell's at the bottom. But Carlton defence just holding firm at the moment. Derui again towards centre wing. Hepburn marks, but there was a push in front. And that'll be taken by Shane Robertson.
Oh, he runs a little too close to the man on the mark. That was a bad mistake. Hepburn kicks North Melbourne up to within 40 metres. Madden at the back. Oh, he's too slow. Just gets his foot to the ball. Blackwell's got the ball. He's dispossessed. Madden punches it out to the advantage of Derui. And Derui through centre-half back kicks Carlton over the centre. A nice-looking kick and a great mark taken by Kernahan.
There's no one in the forward line.
There's a player loose in the forward line. Running back to get it is Brown. And he marks on the 50-metre line. He goes for goal. One out up there. Murphy and Allison. It was poor play by Brown, because the kick was never really going to reach its target, and it goes over for a boundary throw in the right forward pocket for the Blues. Carlton 3-7, trailing North Melbourne 6-5. Difference is 16
There's a real
points.
mix-up on the interchange bench. Hepburn's going on, off. Now he's going down to the forward pocket, and Bryce is warming up.
Kernahan over the back, just on 6.5 minutes of this second quarter remaining. Allison gets the hand pass out. North holding Carlton at the moment, and North holding their lead. Larkin cops one in the back. Edgar sending Carlton down towards Dorotich. Now Herman, claimed by Schwass. Johnston a short kick. Murphy will take it going past. He'll snap it goal and kick it.
Some very hard work done by quite a few Carlton players to get that last goal. Bryce gets the tap down. Gathered by Brown off the side of his boot. The kick was effective, but it finishes up with Brayshaw. Brayshaw goes back to McDonald. What a tackle! Gets the hand pass out. Brayshaw again. Gets his kick away out wide to the centre wing, where the mark is taken by Larkin. Didn't see who the tackler was, but it was a great tackle. Larkin's hand pass over the top goes to Bryce. Bryce now running around. Back in towards the centre to get onto his favourable left foot. Kick towards centre-half forward. No mark taken. Opportunity for North Melbourne. O'Sullivan tackle McCarthy. McCarthy gets the hand pass to Carey. Could this be Carey's goal number 3? No. A shocker. And he misses from only 20 metres.
That's it.
And North Melbourne have made a change. Longmire's gone off, and they're resting Hepburn down in the full forward position, with Bryce coming onto the ball and Madden at full forward. And as we saw earlier, Kernahan took the centre ruck work.
Good mark by Aitken. 12 effective scoring shots to 11. Shane Robertson over the top to Gleeson. Short again, and the mark taken by Edgar. Edgar's kick, centering it in towards half forward. Madden sets himself. Murphy to do the scouting work. Silvani in strongly. Schwass there for North Melbourne. So inside Carlton's 50-metre zone. Madden.
Play on!
Got rid of it, then did the shepherding work. Brown claimed. Oh, this is going to be a goal. Another one. 37 plays 42. From the centre bounce again. Who can win it out? Johnston tries to get the hand pass away. Buckley gets a high kick down towards the half-forward line. The mark is taken by McCarthy.
That's it, Steve!
Can kick long, but he's too far. The lead is on from Hepburn. Good grab. So a chance for North to answer.
Yeah.
Got a bit of a problem, the Blues, I would think, if Hepburn's in that forward pocket and Dennis is playing on him. Big difference in height.
I'll never forget that man's first game. I think it was against the West Coast Eagles over in Perth. He was centre-half forward, played a blinder.
So Hepburn, the left footer. One behind. And a groan coming up from the North camp.
Fellas, just run, please.
You can usually tell, Don, when you watch the players, can't you, whether it's going to be a goal or a behind.
Just run.
He can, Ian.
Hawker. Into the centre,
That's it,
but
Steve.
only as far as the centre.
Right, stay back. Hey, Johnny.
McDonald to half forward again. Kernahan late on the scene. Aitken in front. Brought it to ground, then got the hand pass out. Matthew Larkin, well, last year averaged something like 10 handballs a game. Now Bryce.
That's it, Tommy. Play on.
Short into the pocket. Larkin again.
That's it, Hawk. That's
In
it,
fact, he had
mate.
206 handballs in 20 games last year, Don. Short. Oh! Over the top, it went of Bryce. He's going to recover, but he doesn't like his kick. Now behind.
Oh, they've wasted some chances.
6-8. 14 scoring shots to 12.
Don't hold off block, just run with them, please.
Carlton still don't look good, although they've had the majority of the scoring shots. They've really outscored North Melbourne in this second quarter. But North, although only adding, 4 points for the quarter, still just seem to have that little bit of composure.
The kick goes towards Kernahan. He's been paid the mark. He plays on quickly, kicks it to Dorotич's advantage, and Dorotич takes a good mark in front of McDonald. He plays on quickly, kicks it towards centre-half forward. Johnston's there, so is Herman. Murphy can't break the tackle, but somehow gets the hand pass away. Gleeson. Herman. Alvin. Over the top, Brown. Is this his second goal? No.
All clear.
It all started there. The reason the ball is down in that forward line and the goal nearly scored is the fact that Donald McDonald gave Dorotich too much latitude. Had he have manned him up, the ball could have been put over the boundary line. North could have gone back into attack. But you cannot afford to do what McDonald did, give your forwards latitude.
Smith kicks the ball into the half-back flank position. McDonald. Kernahan, left foot kick. Goes about 20 metres. Alvin underneath it. High over the top. The North Melbourne defence a big punch away. Herman gets his foot to the ball. It may bounce through. Close to the line. It hits the post.
All clear.
And you wouldn't believe it. That could have gone one way or the other. And Ian Herman, 1 second licking his chops, the next second disappointment.
Actually, all those interchange players that have come on for Carlton have done very well.
5 points the difference, and was that a costly miss? Alvin keeps it in play, but only as far as the behind post. Hammers up against it. So a throw in the left forward pocket, just on 1.5 minutes remaining. North would dearly love to get it out of defence. Carlton would like another one. Crocker gets a hand to it as it goes over the line, another behind. So 4 points the margin. We're set for an exciting second half, Robbo.
Yes, it's tremendous.
Allison. Buckley.
Play on.
Ben Buckley towards centre wing. Stevens is there. Over the line on the wing.
What a brilliant kick off the ground. Gathering 25 metres before it went over.
.4 points in it. Kernahan and Bryce jostling. Larkin. North into attack down towards Hepburn. Dennis at the back. Towards Herman. Great struggle, this one. And Herman the victor over Schwass on that occasion. McDonald gets away from Dorotich. His kick is a poor one. Out of bounds on the full. Ian Aitken will bring it back into play.
See, that was a terrible kick, Donald. I think you'd be very, very disappointed there. Aitken's kick back towards half forward, and Dorotich takes the mark.
Too much latitude.
Dorotich plays on quickly, kicks it up towards the 50-metre line. No mark. Trying to crash his way through was Brown, gathered by Madden. Kick into the pocket, could come off. Mark is taken by Gleeson. Players in the goal square on their own.
Alvin calling for it.
Gleeson kicks it in that direction. Madden can't mark. At the back, Murphy. Snap across his body is another Carlton goal.
2 goals to Fraser Murphy. 6-10 as Carlton hit the front by 2 points over North, 6-8.
Well, Donald McDonald going off the ground. You can understand why, but how often does Fraser Murphy do this? And I like this type of setup where you've got a big, tall forward down there. If he can't take the mark, at least he'll bring it to ground. The little fellows can swoop onto it. And it was Fraser Murphy who did so on that occasion.
Carlton have kicked the last 6 goals. And there's the siren. What a half. 6-10 Carlton. 46. Leading North. 6-8. 44. As Don would say, a game of 2 quarters. First quarter North, second quarter Carlton.
Yes, and I said partway through the commentary that I thought that North Melbourne still looked that little bit composed. Carlton, on the other hand, had made a lot of change. We don't often see Steve Kernahan going into the ruck, but they made wholesale changes, and they really did claw their way back into it. It really does set the scene for a great second quarter, but North Melbourne, they could still come out, you know, and I said at quarter time it doesn't look good for North Melbourne because Carlton had very few good players in the first quarter.
And they have their injury problems. At half-time, Carlton 6-10, 46. North Melbourne 6-8, 44. Welcome back. Since the 22-minute mark of the first quarter, North Melbourne has added only 4 points. At half-time, they trail Carlton. Carlton kicking 4 goals, 7 in the second term. 6-10, 46 to North Melbourne, 6-8 44. And bear in mind, of course, that the winner of tonight's match wins $20,000. Add that to the purse they've already won, and a sizable bank is building up. And the players are certainly looked after too, courtesy of Foster's, with the Foster's Player of the Series.
The Foster's Cup Player of the Series will win a return trip to Fiji flying Qantas with 7 nights accommodation at the magnificent Sheraton Fiji Resort. Travel arrangements courtesy of Elders IXL Travel.
Yes, a great prize courtesy of Foster's, and good to have Foster's backing football around Australia once again in 1990. Well, Michael Roberts is down in the Carlton rooms, and I would imagine Jezza somewhat happier than he would have been at quarter time, Mickey.
Well, he sure is, Sandy, and at quarter time he was very upset with the Blues. They were beaten out of the centre, beaten around the packs, and North players were running at will. But as you saw in that second quarter, they really lifted, and it is a confident Carlton room down here, and they're a real big chance to win. Alex Jesselenko is in behind closed doors with his co-selectors working out a few tactics, and I just saw some of the players going into the medical for medical attention, and Mark Majezak, who suffered from concussion, is okay, but I did notice David Kernahan suffering from a very bad right hamstring, and he'll take no further part.
Yes, thanks, Mickey. He did look very distressed when he left the ground, but that's good news about Mark Majezak. We'll take a break and be back with all the football news, courtesy of the Punchlines King, Scott Palmer.
Hi, I'm Paul Hamilton. There's plenty of action coming your way in this AFL season on Channel 7 Sport.
If you can't be at the game next Saturday night, make a date on 7, because Essendon will play the winner of tonight's game in the grand final of the Foster's Cup. Will it be Carlton? Will it be North? At the moment, the football they're playing, it doesn't matter. It's going to be a superb grand final. And, of course, you'll catch all the action around Australia on 7. All the football action is usually scooped by the sports editor of the Sunday Sun in Scotty Palmer. And this week is certainly no exception. I believe there have been big rumblings, if I can use that phrase, Scotty, down at St Kilda.
Yes, Sandy, we've got an exclusive story tonight which we'd like to share with all your viewers.
Right.
Tony Lockett has signed a 5-year contract to stay at St Kilda. It's a wonderful opportunity for him. It virtually means that he'll be playing there for the rest of his career. He's got a new management, a new direction in life, and of course, a new direction towards kicking more goals in 1990.
Scotty, that's a fair birthday present, isn't it?
Yes, it is a fair birthday present. We also gave him a cake. And, of course, because he's trying to lose weight, Sandy, he won't eat the cake, so he gave it to me to eat.
What about your weight?
I haven't worried about mine this year.
I know. Just this year? Scotty, what about McAdam?
Well, Gil McAdam has also been signed by the Saints. He's a Magarey medalist in Adelaide. They're really booming down there at Moorabbin at the moment. He's here for 1991, 92 and 93. And, of course, another good news down there is Danny Frawley has held his job at the league despite the connection with St Kilda and the Philip Morris Company.
Scotty, practice matches, Hawthorn beaten yet again?
Third time in a row, lost by 22 points out there at Skinner Reserve, and young Dale Kicker kicked 5 goals for the Lions. Good effort.
And the Eagles absolutely thrashing Geelong.
Yes, 91 points. The Eagles kicked 12-9 to 0 in the last quarter, and Blighty went mad over there. He's screaming.
He might ask for his sports jacket back.
He could too.
Just in closing, Scotty, Andrew Manning, I believe, is not too happy with the drug tests.
Not at all. No, there won't be any there tonight because they turned the lights out. Last Wednesday night, when the 6 Essendon players had their drug test, it took Andrew Manning until 1:30 in the morning to do the little bit in the bottle and please Dr. Capes.
Scotty, keep punching.
See you, mate.
Scotty Palmer. And, of course, more punchlines next week. OK, let's see what's been happening in the North Rooms. Here's Bernie Quinlan.
Yes, Andy, well, the North Brain Trusts are looking pretty worried at this stage because they came up the race and Wayne Schimmelbusch took them straight in the rooms, in behind closed doors, and he's still got them in there now. But some of the words they were using was they had to work harder in that second half, get the ball out of the centre, and when they did get the ball down on the forward line, make sure that they finished it off with a goal, because that was a goalless second quarter for the North Melbourne side, and they've got plenty of work to do in the second half if they're going to win this match. Thank you, Bernie. We'll take a break, be back with more action here at VFL Park shortly, including Don Scott's chalkboard.
Welcome back to the second semi-final of the Foster's Cup. Carlton are out on the ground. North Melbourne are just making their way out. And I didn't believe it because I didn't see it last week. But now I do believe it's true, Don. The stick figures are real, almost.
They are, Sandy. And I was talking to a league player through the week, and league players, and they really do fascinate me, are mothers of invention. Now, we've got this new rule, this 3-metre shepherd rule. Now, I've drawn a couple of figures here. There's Team A, and Team A is teammate, and Team B. Now, Team A, naturally, as we can see, has got the ball. His teammate, who is more than 3 metres away and more or less just running along, not shepherding, unaware of the fellow Team B from the opposition running up behind him. Now, what they're doing now, and this particular player told me they've done it in practice matches and been awarded free kicks. They cannon into the back of Team A, then fall to the ground like so. The umpire's attention is naturally on the man with the ball, and all he can see out of the corner of his eye is that fellow lying on the ground, so naturally assumes that the shepherd has been more than the 3 metre, so the free kick is then paid to the fellow on the ground, and that was the whole intention. But footballers, as I said, are mothers of invention, so the rules committee might have to look at it.
There's a guy in Team B. Has he got 2 arms or 1?
Oh, my mistake.
Statistics showing that Carlton well in front on the kick side of it with 105 to 93. North Melbourne trying to get the ball moving, obviously, with their hand passes. Marks pretty square. Free kicks definitely in favour of the Blues. Tackles not too bad. Hit outs, Hepburn and Bryce doing well for North Melbourne in the ruck duels.
Tommy Alvin, 11 kicks.
And 5 hand passes. Took a couple of marks in the second quarter when Carlton came back.
Ben Buckley has been doing very well. A solid player, Ben Buckley. 10, however, no hand pass. He was the fellow that handed out that big shirt front to Majizak. Andrew Cracker off the ground after a quiet second quarter. Very good first quarter, though.
So here we go. The all-important third quarter of this Foster's Cup second semi-final. Carlton had the second, and they're starting well as O'Sullivan gets it out to Silvani, further on to Shane Robertson from 55 metres. He blasts away at goal. They need to see a diving mark taken by Brayshaw.
And Brayshaw now picking up Fraser Murphy.
Brayshaw goes back to the half-back flank once more. Robertson again. Spent time on the bench. Gleeson threads his way through onto the left foot, but goes across the face of goal. And once again, Brayshaw.
Darren Steele on for North Melbourne. He's on the wing on Fraser Brown.
Slightly unusual kicking style by Brayshaw, but it's effective. The mark is taken by Buckley at half-back for North Melbourne. Good kick by Ben Buckley. Peter German's on the end of it. Steele over the top. Pickering. Pickering's kick wide into the pocket, and a good mark taken by Bryce in front of Dennis. Bryce kicks the ball towards full forward. Big punch by Aitken. Not far enough though. McCarthy quick to recover. John McCarthy. Lovely little side step, and the kick is accurate.
Second goal to McCarthy, and North bounce back. They regain the lead, 7-8-50, Carlton 6-10-46.
And that was a very good piece of play. He's a player of the unpredictable John McCarthy. Look at this, very nicely done. And from one step, a nice kick for goal, but he is a sensational high mark as well.
Just the ball. Just the ball.
Back in the middle again. Madden wins it, but taken by Matthew Larkin. A high kick down towards the half-forward zone. No mark taken by Derui. Silvani scouting. Swings it wide, looking to accommodate Brown. It passes him. North have started this third quarter well. That one drifts over the line.
Matthew Larkin on the half-back flank, picking up Wayne Johnson.
So the Roos have it in their attacking zone. Madden does a 360. German tries to thump it down towards Romero. Albin sneaks through but slips. The left foot kick goes over the top of Edgar, taken by Madden, who tumbles a punt to the boundary line.
Gee, that kick was nearly as bad as Donald McDonald's in the second quarter. For senior league players, oh, I'm glad if I know. Dorotich doing the ruck work. Fraser Brown. Hand pass out in front of Edgar. But good play by McRae. First of all to dispossess Edgar, but then couldn't do anything with the ball because Edgar came back at him just as fiercely as the North Melbourne player. So some terrific stuff by both sides. The scores are pretty well locked together. North Melbourne lead by 4 points. Longmire doing the ruck work. Edgar again in there for Carlton. Gets a long hand pass into the pocket. Smith just bundles the ball over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in. And the play is about 45 metres around from the Carlton goal, perhaps a little closer. So the Blues are a chance to score. Ruck contest, Dorotich. Out the back, Murphy. Just gets his foot to the ball high. It only goes about 5 or 6 metres. Schwass. McRae. Brayshaw. Steele, a little too high for Steele. Hard up against the boundary line. He just gets his foot to the ball. Madden. Herman. Brayshaw again. Strong play by the North Melbourne defender. Blackwell under pressure. Dispossessed. Ramiro. Silvani under pressure. Blackwell finishes up with the ball. Umpire calls for a bounce.
Both of these sides have played in thrillers so far in this Foster's Cup competition, the most recent being Carlton's heart-stopping win over Sydney. So they know what the close ones are all about. Who will it be tonight? Finally farmed out towards the boundary line. Steele flicks it back in, but fortunately for him it went back over because the only player there was Herman.
Well, fitness could be a factor at the end of this match, Sandy.
Yep.
Both sides really striving hard.
Madden over the top. Hawker twists out of the tackle. Brayshaw chanced his arm, did get boot to ball and pushed it over the line.
Very impressive. Brayshaw is prepared to leave his man and run and attack the ball. It's good to see a backman do that.
North leading by 4 points. Just under 16.5 minutes remaining. Third quarter. Madden leaning up against Hepburn. Taken away by Brown. Out in front of Robertson. The left footer. Over the top. Kernahan. Chasing is Angus. Over the line in the left forward pocket. Dorotich and Longmire to contest the throw-in. Larkin, a fine tackle on Johnston. The advantage is paid and North Melbourne out of trouble. Well done by McCarthy. Kicks North in towards half forward. No mark taken by Romero. Tries to recover, but Hawker is there and does it well. Gets it across to Blackwell. Carlton out of strife. Towards their half-forward line. Herman up with the one hand, pushing down in front. He'll have to go and meet it again. And also meet Pickering. But Blackwell claims him.
Against you! Against you! Your kick! That's it!
So Pickering goes short. Well, Brown intercepts. Dangerous. But he's not out of it yet. Back to Hawker. A high hurried kick. Schwass and Pickering both there. It's the latter who marks.
Pickering short kick in towards the centre.
It's two of them.
Just short of Hepburn, but he's able to gather. Gets his foot to the ball. North Melbourne mark. Peter German. Kicked a fantastic goal against Geelong last week. Short pass. Buckley. Hand pass over the top. Carey. A little bit too far for that player, but he gathers pretty well, Wayne Carey. Now kicks it high into the goal square. Aitken can't mark. McCarthy over his head. Is this a goal? No, not 10. Bryce. Dennis. Hand pass towards Blackwell. Steele. Hawker. Short kick. Carey again a chance. Trying to barge his way through. Carlton player on the bottom of the pack, O'Sullivan. Crocker goes for goal and misses.
This is a fair quarter of football.
Pretty tight. Darren Crocker kicks North Melbourne's ninth behind.
That's his third point, Darren Crocker, but he's very impressive. Carey at centre half forward. He's only 18 or 19 years of age, and for a young fella to hold that position down is a credit to him.
Dennis's kick out is a poor one. The mark is taken by Stevens, who plays on, sending North back in towards full forward again. No mark taken. First to recover is Darui. Swings it across goal looking for Hawker and finds it. Hawker will go towards Edgar, but he's beaten by his opposing number 9 in Matthew Larkin. Larkin, who's holding the captaincy for tonight's game. German at the back. Oh, slews off the side of the boot and drifts into the pocket. McCarthy, Darui, Aitken. McCarthy beautifully picked up on the boundary line, pushes the ball out in front towards Crocker. He'll soccer in towards goal and go across the face from behind. So they're peppering away. 6-10 plays 7-10.
Could be costly, these misses, because they did kick 6-4 to 2-3 in the first quarter, down to the same end to which they're kicking in this third term.
Dennis towards Madden. Has it fisted away. Larkin at the back. Turned his body to prevent the tackle. Got it across to German. Onto Buckley. Buckley bounces it down in towards full forward. Dennis is there once again. Copped a decent old shove. Play on Romero. Steadies. Shoots and misses.
I wonder what the result would have been had he have kicked the ball as soon as he'd got it, instead of trying to go to the left or the right and make sure of it. I think it would have been better to do the instinctive thing.
A shocking kick by Dennis, though. Gee, when you're in the position that he was in, you should thump it 35 to 40 metres away, I would have thought. Madden can't mark the kick by Aitken. Brown is dispossessed. Steele is still looking for the free kick. It comes out the back to Pickering. Now Ramiro against the boundary line. Ramiro goes with the left foot. Aitken nearly takes the marker, hits the behind post for a throw-in in the right forward pocket for North Melbourne. Jez is composed. Don't know about that Carlton defence, though. They look a little rattled to me. The Blues trail by 7 points. Bryce gets it out. Oh, just feeding his way through was Buckley, and his kick misses. Another behind to North Melbourne.
Don't hold or block.
Ben Buckley, 1 goal, 1. North Melbourne 7-12. The Blues 6-10.
They've kicked 1 goal 4 this quarter. Carlton haven't scored. Aitken. Silvani working hard. Couldn't take the mark, but did paddle it forward. Steele now. Receiving the hand pass from McCarthy. Goes in towards half forward. Oh, Edgar lost it. German a chance. In towards full forward. Shepherded through, is it? No, still not there, and eventually tapped over the line from behind.
Good effort by Aitken.
Crocker appealing for the free kick. Thought that Aitken perhaps had hold of his jumper.
Aitken again. Long and low, looking for Alvin. Buckley the spoiler. Schwass in to help him. Herman in to help Alvin. Pushing the back on Schwass. Wayne Schwass, long. Aitken again from behind does the spoiling. Johnston claims he tried to get through.
Sandy, that definitely is a scoring end to which North Melbourne are kicking. So far in the game, 13 goals have been kicked down that end, whilst at the other end, I think there's only been 2.
From the bounce, Larkin had to give a little space in order to try and gain some. German is ridden into the ground. Robertson sweeps one out wide to Alvin. On to Brown. Carlton out of trouble.
Brown's kick quickly. He's been knocked to the ground after he did kick the ball. The free kick up the field to Murphy, and Murphy grasps that opportunity and kicks the ball towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Carlton have the numbers. O'Sullivan, hand pass, Madden. Lopen kicks it behind.
Slow motion replay, isn't it, when Justin gets the ball?
He wouldn't run out of sight in a dark night, would he? Justin?
I think the paint on my wall dries quicker than what he can run.
That's it, Robbo.
Kick in by Brayshaw.
On the outer side, Hepburn looking for Schwass. A clever tap on by Wayne Schwass. German went without it. Doesn't matter, he's got backup support. Good support too from McRae. In towards full forward. The bouncing ball. Pickering tries to go over the top. Claimed by Hawker. Oh, they've got the loose man. Edgar's all alone. Doesn't worry. Goes up towards the right half forward flank and tapped over the line. On that occasion by Brayshaw.
The Blues perhaps should have made a little bit more of that, Sandy.
Yes, Edgar certainly had plenty of space.
Don't.
Umpire telling the ruckman what they can and can't do. Brown over the top. Herman was almost off before he had it. Time to recover. Quick kick, spiralling it down towards Madden. Waiting in the front was Gleeson. He couldn't take it. Brayshaw, short little chip to Larkin.
Wait.
Ooh, well up there, Brayshaw.
Thanks, boys. Fraser. Thanks, mate.
Larkin. Oh, Silvani flew at the back. Johnston was there too, so is Hawker. It's the latter who kicks high. Hepburn gets underneath it. Can't complete the mark. Larkin through. Does need support. Gets it in the form of German. Back to Larkin. Now they can open up some space. Matthew Larkin draws the player. Puts the handball out in front of Buckley. Clever tap on. This looks good. It's picked up by Pickering. He kicked the goal in the first quarter. They desperately need one, and he's kicked another.
Second goal to Liam Pickering. And North Melbourne have kicked 2 goals, 5 to Carlton's 1 behind, and they're away again from the centre. German to Larkin. Larkin to McCarthy. Gets past. Darui tackles. Aitken gathers. Left foot kick by Aitken close to the line. Darui will let it go over.
He had Bryce out there on his own. He could have hand passed the ball, but instead he tried to do just a little bit too much on that occasion, McCarthy.
And Darui, never giving up, affected the tackle. Blackwell, good gather. Hand pass, Robertson, outside the 50-metre line. Kicks it in towards the centre. Ball goes over the back. First to recover is Brayshaw. A good hand pass. Hepburn. Left foot kick by Hepburn. Within goal-scoring distance for North Melbourne. Darui at the back. He's dispossessed. A struggle at centre-half forward. Umpire will come in and bounce.
And Justin Madden going off for Carlton from the full forward position, and Jamie Dunlop coming on. I think Dunlop will go straight into the ruck, releasing Kernahan from the ruck to full forward.
Bounce at half forward. North Melbourne in attack. Dennis was involved in that. Now a chance for McRae, using pace, shoots in towards goal, and a behind.
That was outstanding pace on that occasion.
I played all my junior football with that guy's father, and I've watched his career with a lot of interest, and I, for the life of me, can't work out why he's not in the starting 18 for North Melbourne each week.
Aitken. Short to Brown.
That's it.
Fraser Brown, goal in the second quarter. Looking for Dunlop, who's just come on. Just slipped through his fingers, eluding him. Carey kicked a couple in the first quarter to set North Melbourne alight. Now Buckley receives the hand pass, drifting it across the face in towards full forward. 1-2 grabs. It's a mark.
A good mark considering the circumstances. Dennis bearing down. I think it was Aitken behind, and it was Bryce who just kept his eye on the ball. Watch this. Well done.
So Bryce a chance to boot his first.
Where the mark is, mate, yep.
Just looking at Bryce, he's obviously worked on himself with the weights over the summer period. It's certainly built up around the top part of his body.
From 15 metres, he shoots.
All clear.
And goal.
Certainly was a good effort by Paul Bryce there to kick his first goal in North Melbourne. Well, they've got a bit of a break. Hawker kicks Carlton up towards half forward. Punch away by Murphy. Was that a mark?
Yep.
According to the umpire, okay. And Smith gets North Melbourne out of trouble again. Buckley goes to McRae. Umpire calls play on. McRae's kick is quite direct. Oh, what a great effort by Silvani.
Courageous effort.
A tremendous performance there to take that mark. Umpire calls play on. Silvani kicks it across his body back into towards the centre. Kernahan can't mark. Carlton have the numbers when the ball hits the ground. Johnson's kick towards centre forward. Oh, what an ordinary bounce for the North Melbourne defence. But they've got the numbers. Pushing it out in front. Gleeson. Round onto the left foot goes Gleeson. Kicks it back towards centre-half forward. Only Carlton players at home there. Robertson has it. He's got a player in support. North Melbourne defenders getting back quickly. Robertson now. The short pass. Edgar. Marks within scoring distance.
Was that shepherding there by... Is it Luke O'Sullivan? We'll see. McRae was also, I believe, could have been shepherded out by Luke O'Sullivan.
Edgar's kick towards goal looks pretty good. Carlton goal. Edgar kicks his first, and Carlton just get back within striking distance. 7-11 plays 9-14.
Well, it's a third goal kick down that end. There's the whack behind the head from McRae. And a good kick from Edgar.
In fact, only Carlton has scored goals down that end. Which gives Don cause to wonder about the final quarter. 53 plays 68. From the centre. Silvani pumps one long. Albert. Inside 50.
He read that ball better than Buckley did on that occasion. He set Buckley up. They were both together, but he got 20 metres away from Buckley. And when he took the mark, Buckley was 10 metres away, so he really did get a beat. on Buckley, Tom Elvin. Now, can he make the distance? That's the question. He'll kick it from about 50 metres, Tom Elvin. Would have been a goal had the captain not got up there.
Good fly by Kernahan, but fingers to the ball are behind the result. Matthew Larkin brings it back into play and finds his mark. Longmire. To centre wing.
Oh, that's not a free kick.
The flyer was McRae.
And Johnson's injured too.
Right on it, that's it. Right.
Gleeson.
Thank you.
4.5 minutes remaining in this vital third term. Shane Robertson soccers off the ground. Edgar, a good turn of speed, will have to soccer again. He does. And the ball does not come around nearly enough. Longmire was there anyway. And so a throw in Carlton's left forward pocket as Justin Madden has a spell.
Quite crucial, I would think, with 4 minutes left in the term, that North Melbourne don't allow Carlton to score a goal here. They've scored a rush behind. But we are suggesting that maybe the Blues will be kicking to the scoring end in the last term. And North Melbourne have done it pretty well to this stage. Longmire's kick is straight down the field. A big punch by Dunlop. Johnston on the right foot. Disciplined kick to the front of the square. No one home. Schwass decked by Dorotich. And it was rather crude by John Dorotich. The free kick will go to the North Melbourne
Stood his
player.
ground well then, Wayne Schwass.
Kick out wide to Smith. Smith half-back, out of side. Marked by Stevens, plays on quickly. Left foot kick by Stevens is short. Darui gathers pretty well. Left foot kick by that player. Carlton player on the end of it, it's Gleeson. Hand pass to Herman. Left foot kick by Herman. Again to the front of the square. Dorotich can't mark. In the back against Dorotich, was it? And Longmire, well, it was a mark. Longmire kicks it wide to Larkin, and Larkin to kick North Melbourne out of trouble.
Matthew Larkin towards centre wing. North trying to go into attack again as McRae sends them long. Blackwell is there at the back. Shrugs one tackle, then hands it over to Brown. He goes further afield to Dunlop. Carlton look dangerous to Johnston. Will swing round onto the left foot, putting it out wide for Dorotich, but Larkin may get there first. Larkin has Longmire there and the boundary line, but he's pushed in the back.
Wait for it then, Matthew Larkin used his experience. He knew Dorotich was running behind him, propped at the critical moment, and Dorotich just had nowhere else to go but into the back of Larkin.
So Matthew Larkin with a high kick towards the half-back flank, hammered over the line defensively, or a push.
Free kick, the North Melbourne player put his hand right in the middle of Stephen Kernahan's back.
So Carlton get another chance before three-quarter time. 2.5 minutes left. And a big chance if Johnston can get it. He can't. Great desperation shown by Peter German. Firstly, to outbustle Wayne Johnston, and then to see it pushed over the line from behind. Wouldn't be surprised if those nails lose a bit in the last quarter if it's this close.
Kick in, and a kick off the ground has been marked by Brown. No play on. Brown now into the back, and I would say that that could have been, oh, could that be 50 metres? No.
Very lucky, very lucky.
Settle down. And Brown, nice kick to the front of the square. Kernahan, great use of the body by Stephen Kernahan. Don, you love body players.
He is a great exponent of that. He is one of those fellows that you know he's going to take a mark at a critical time. He hasn't taken too many tonight, but he always will take them. In fact, he's only had 4. That'd be his fourth mark for the night. And he was averaging around about 10 marks and topped that particular facet of the game with Lowe from St Kilda last
180 he took last year.
Really?
Stephen Kernahan from 30 metres kicks his first goal.
This could be a very critical 1 minute 20 seconds or so.
Steele off to Sandy and Harris. Brenton Harris from South Adelaide on.
South Adelaide. Well, to centre wing and over the line. I'm speechless. Was he there during your 6 weeks, Don?
No, I didn't have anything to do. That's why he's made it.
Well, there you go.
Poor brother
I hope
hasn't had too much luck.
Gee, I hope our ratings are terrific tonight, because that's interesting information there. Don's prepared to admit that. The kick by Schwass up towards half forward. A big thump by Doricic. Edgar's a chance, overruns it. Schwass, the hand pass, ineffective. Johnston. Edgar, a tap on to the advantage of Alvin. Standing in the way is Stevens, and he gets his left foot to the ball. He's decked after he kicks it, and the free kick will go to Carey right on the point of the square.
And under 40 seconds remaining.
Very important kick now by Wayne Carey. He's too far out to score. And pretty basic language there from the umpire. The kick goes over the back. Larkin will have a shot. Can he kick a goal? Looks all right. Wayne Larkin, Matthew Larkin's happy. And North Melbourne bounce back again.
Goal for goal. 10-14 North, Carlton 8-14.
And he's a very skilled player. He doesn't usually let you down, and he didn't on that occasion. Matthew Larkin, watch this. The big fellows fly, and Larkin deep in that forward pocket. Not an easy shot from goal from that particular area. He's a very solid player, is Matthew Larkin, the captain tonight.
So we'll have just under 20 seconds remaining. North lead by 2 goals, and what a final quarter we're going to be in for. Schwass can't get it out of the middle. Jamie Dunlop's away, but the whistle has sounded. Three-quarter time. And at three-quarter time, the score here in the second semi-final of the Foster's Cup. North Melbourne, booting 4 goals that quarter, moved to 10-14-74. Leading Carlton 8-14-62. Three-quarter time in the second semi-final of the Foster's Cup, and a thriller. Carlton 8-14-62 trail North Melbourne 10-14-74. Speaking of thrillers, there's great tennis action coming up on 7 with the Davis Cup by NEC. After accounting for France, Australia moves into the next round to meet New Zealand, and Davis Cup star Pat Cash has started his singles return on the circuit. But that's coming away on 7 on March 30 and 31 from the Milton Courts in Brisbane. Australia v New Zealand for yet another step forward in the Davis Cup by NEC. Let's go down to the boundary line with Bernie and Mike.
Well, Alex Jesselenko was pretty disappointed with his team there, because they set it up in that second quarter and really didn't go on with the third quarter. North started to run in waves, so he demanded that that must be stopped. Also, they must score in the first 10 minutes to set up the last quarter, so it's important to get it out of the centre and for the forwards to work hard. And some players have been pacing themselves, and it's going to make it pretty difficult in this last term.
Well, they're pretty excited in the North Melbourne camp. They said 1 quarter of hard work and persistence, and they're into this grand final, and that's what they've worked hard for in this pre-season, and that's what they must do. Plenty of pressure on the Carlton side, not let them get any easy kicks.
Thank you, Bernie and Michael. I just wonder, it's going to be very interesting to see where the scoring is done in this final quarter. Let's have a look at some of the match stats, Robert.
Yes, the kicks obviously pretty square. Handballs, North Melbourne still working overtime in that area, believing that the handballs do create easier opportunities. Marks certainly in favour of North. Free kicks with the Blues.
Okay, here we go. The final quarter. The victor to meet Essendon next week's grand final. Coach Kevin Sheedy is here tonight having a look at these two sides. From the middle, German, claimed by Alvin. Also claimed was Harris. Johnston, who's been pretty quiet, in towards Silvani.
Playing the forward line now, Sandy.
Taken by Larkin. Gets the hand pass away to his teammate in Smith, and North out of trouble with a long kick over centre. The Roos will need the first one. Bryce's kick goes down towards the right half forward flank, but Aitken comes steaming through. onto the left foot. A short kick, Ian Aitken, goes down to the wing, and the mark taken by Shane Robertson.
Robertson, long kick towards half forward. Murphy up in front, can't mark. Quick to recover. Elvin taps it to the advantage of Herman, who just keeps the ball in play. Hand pass over the top. Murphy gets past his opponent. Hand pass further afield. Edgar into an open goal. Just ducks and weaves and kicks it. Well, that's probably what Carlton needed. And Alex Jezelenko, on what Michael Roberts said, asked for at three-quarter time to score in the early minutes.
He's a classy-looking player, Edgar, isn't he? Look at the way that he got rid of this. Good effort by the little fella, Murphy. Now, here he is, Edgar. Watch this. We've had a lot of good little men in the past, and he'll fit into Carlton very well. Stephen Edgar.
Kicked a similar goal like that on the run against Sydney. That's his second for tonight. And Wayne Schimmelbusch showing some concern. A goal in it. And still North lead. Madden with that. Centre work gets it out towards the wing. Still the Roos a chance as McRae goes up towards the half-forward line, but there were three Carlton players there, and eventually Dennis took it. Richard Dennis from the half-back line, drifting it down to the wing. Kernahan trying to flick it over the back. Can't do so. Hawker applies a quick tackle. The ball spills free to Hawker onto Herman. Beautifully claimed, however, by Pickering, who threw it out to Schwass almost. Dummied the hand pass, then eventually was forced to pass long, deep into the pocket, and Wayne Blackwell is quite content to let it run over the line.
See there, John McCarthy, or is it? Just can't pick that North Melbourne up, but he was certainly yelling at. It was Wayne Carey yelling at Wayne Schwass to kick the ball instead of trying to play the field. Interesting to see Mike Fitzpatrick with Alex Jezelenko, Stephen Goff and co. from Carlton as they watch Gleeson try and run the ball out of defence. He's held and he'll take the free kick.
He was a little lucky, I think, Sandy.
Yeah, he was lucky McRae let him off too.
Well, they've had the advantage of the umpiring decisions, the Blues, statistically speaking, and it's continuing on in this last term. That kick by Gleeson has been marked by Aitken, and Aitken on centre wing, and the fussy little fella there is Brian Sheehan, the umpire, asking Ian Aitken to kick over the man on the mark, and Aitken doing the right thing, kicks it towards half forward. No mark taken. Murphy tries to handball it basically to himself. Harris is decked pretty quickly. Fraser Brown, he's decked too by Schwass unfairly, according to umpire Russo, and Fraser Brown will take the free kick. He plays on quickly and thumps the ball further forward. Centre half forward, the marking contest. The ball comes to the ground. Herman is caught. O'Sullivan over the ball. Not really moving it on, and that's the way the umpire sees it. And players will be penalised all the time for that. Buckley takes the ball for North Melbourne.
Bringing it back towards the centre, and German, who swings it into the middle with Harris. Now he goes long up towards full forward, over the top. McCarthy was there, but so too Dennis. Dennis to Aitken is good defensive football, and he swings it back towards Brown. Beaten by Crocker on this occasion. Short in towards half forward, and the mark taken by Donald McDonald. Well, he goes probably 12 or 15 metres and finds Darren Crocker, but still a long way out. Drifts one into the pocket. The lead was on. No mark taken, and eventually over the line. Carey and Dorotich having a duel. Carey kicked 2 goals in the first quarter.
The standards improved a little bit at the start of this last term too.
A goal in it. 3 or 4 vie for it. Romero pulled off it. Aitken has an area. Crocker on the left foot. High and wide. Johnston right on the line. Won't be credited with a mark. The Dominator, because the boundary umpire signalled out of bounds on the full.
Johnston's kick to half back. No mark. Picked up by Stevens. Kicks it back towards full forward. And a good mark taken by Dennis. It was done pretty well back there, lacking a bit of height, but has taken a couple of really good marks. His kick goes to Blackwell. Blackwell's little chip Herman runs onto it, but slips over. Oh, and then a kick off the ground by Buckley on the full. Lucks of fortune, the free kick to Carlton to be taken by Herman. Herman on centre wing. Player on the interchange there, Povey preparing to come on. And the big long arms of Stephen Kernahan, those certainly will tell in this last quarter. Kick by Kernahan to full forward, goes through the back. Larkin, desperate effort by Silvani to tackle. Larkin comes out, German. Hand pass into the centre, Buckley. Eludes the tackle from O'Sullivan. Hand pass over the top to Brayshaw. Brayshaw's kick is a poor one. Slews off the side. Finishes up with Pickering. McCarthy with skill. Goes for goal and bangs it through.
North again have a 2-goal break.
It's their first goal down that end too, Sandy.
Correct.
For the night.
Yep. 14.5 minutes remaining, a little over that. So still plenty of time. Kick by Povey was high. He spent considerable time on the bench. Pickering tries to get the handball away at the feet of Larkin.
Oh, he's good.
He beats 3 of them and he gets it out to Schwass. McDonald says, "Go, Wayne," and he does. Deep in towards full forward. Blackwell getting back. There's going to be a free kick for holding, and it's going to go the way of North Melbourne.
You can hear the umpire against Steve DeRuy. John McCarthy's got the kick. I thought it might have been a bit of each way. I thought McCarthy could have been holding on as well.
So McCarthy going for his 4th goal, and this will make it tough for Carlton. Currently lead by 2 goals. They now lead by 3.
Well, that's his 4th goal, John McCarthy. 1 in the first, 1 in the second, and 2 now. He's a dangerous player. We see this build up by Schwartz. Good shepherd there by McRae too, just out of screen.
John McCarthy there applauding the efforts further afield by his teammates. He certainly finished it off, kicking 4 goals. Hepburn. And it's a handy lead for North Melbourne. We've got just under 14 minutes left. They'll get out of the centre again through Buckley. A quick kick. Aitken takes a good mark at the back of Darren Crocker.
Carlton have got the front end of their square open too, so they're going to try and push the ball from the centre bounce straight through there. There'll be nobody at home.
A kick in the direction of Kernahan. North Melbourne get clear. Harris, Buckley. Standing in the road is Aitken. Pushing it further forward. North Melbourne struggling. Aitken can't get the hand pass out. Crocker. Larkin up towards 50 metres. Larkin second bounce. Short pass. Pretty good. Mark to McDonald, well within scoring distance.
He's a good player. I mentioned it earlier. Out on that centre wing there, he put his body in and upset Ian Aitken just in the run for the ball. Now, those are the little things that really do make a good play. You've got to be counted on occasions, and Larkin was, and he just upset Aitken. He was responsible for keeping the ball there. Then he was responsible for getting it down to McDonald. Good play, Matthew Larkin.
Well, they've done all the running so far in this last term. North Melbourne. Donald McDonald a chance to put the first nail in Carlton's coffin. McDonald's kick, he likes it. Goal umpire likes it.
Back in the middle. North Melbourne looking good at 13-14, leading Carlton 9-14. The Blues are going to have to find something special if they're going to figure in the grand final. Aitken soccers it off the ground, down towards the half-forward line. Picked up by Robertson. A short kick. It ricochets off Kernahan, through Johnston, back with Edgar, runs into trouble and is claimed. Socket off the ground, back towards the middle. North out of trouble, through Stevens, long and wide, towards Romero. He gets it away. McCarthy under pressure. Crocker over the line. Tommy Alvin sidelined at the moment. What's his problem, Michael?
Apparently he hurt it against Collingwood. He had it iced at half-time and he's come off because he couldn't maintain the pace out there. Right knee.
Pickering hand pass over the top to Romero. Romero disciplined kick to the front of the square. Oh, a crunch between Povey and Carey. Carey's down. Holding. Free kick is going to North Melbourne by the look of it.
And Carey's up now. He's all right. Look at this. Oh,
a great clash.
It shows the intensity of the game and the state of the game. And Tom Elvin going off the ground will be a blow to Carlton, because he has been a very good player in this series, and his battle with Ben Buckley has been a highlight tonight.
2 metres, Donald.
Andrew Cracker on the boundary line.
About to come on.
1 in the mid steps.
I think it's Ramiro going off.
Donald McDonald has the free kick. He's kicked one.
That's it, Adrian.
And a real chance here, because he's kicking from about 35 to 40 metres out directly in front. Drop punt kick. He's perfect.
30 points the margin, and the Roos are looking to figure in the grand final next Saturday night against Essendon. Buckley at the bottom. Povey. And a bit of a how do you do behind play. And they're coming from everywhere.
Buzz off, stay out. I'm about to bounce
Buzz
the ball.
off, stay out.
I'm about to bounce the ball.
We'll go and bounce it.
About to bounce the ball.
We'll go and
Are
do
you
it.
ready? Are you ready? Here we go. Here we go.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Look at them, they're scattering like ants everywhere. Dennis couldn't take it. Sock it off the ground. Down towards Cracker and Blackwell. And Wayne Blackwell sees it over the line.
Madden about to come off, and I think Dunlop will come on.
Concentrate on the ball. Concentrate.
Madden palmed with the left hand down to Gleeson. A hurried kick gaining 25 or so metres, but then Kernahan sees it over the line. On centre wing, Carlton are going to have to shake themselves to get back into this. Madden trying to lift those weary legs. Wins it with the right hand this time.
Jack!
Down to Aitken. Past Herman and again over the line. Madden off, Dunlop on. He'll contest this throw.
North Melbourne leading by 5 goals. Dunlop takes it out of the air, taps it back to Johnston's advantage. His flip on is pretty good. Povey, left foot kick by Povey, backing back Kernahan, tidying up Larkin. Gee, he's been a great player, Matthew Larkin. Again, the hand pass is pretty good. Longmire, short pass. Povey can't mark. Hepburn's bumped off it by Dunlop. Unfairly, according to umpire Russo. And the free kick will go to the North Melbourne tall player, Mark Hepburn.
Well, a compliment has been paid to John McCarthy. Stephen Silvani is now picking him up, as we saw Daru in the forward line.
Hawker, left foot kick by Hawker to centre half forward. No mark taken. Povey's a chance. Intercepting well McRae. Strong play by McRae, and he gains his footing and kicks North Melbourne out of trouble, out towards the centre wing area. Hawker couldn't mark and takes it over for a boundary throw in. And the North fans getting pretty excited. I think they can sense victory. It's about 10 minutes left in the game, 9.5 to be exact, and they lead by 5 goals.
And the ball's on centre wing. Buckley forced it through, but straight to Dennis. Buckley, however, got a decent old bump on him to allow Crocker through. Darren Crocker now, just forward of the centre. Hooks it round with his left foot down towards Cracker and Blackwell. Brown retrieving, putting it out in front of Dennis. The Blues want goals, and they want them fast. Dennis towards Kernahan. Straight past him, in fact. Angus a chance. His hand pass beautifully smothered, picked up by Buckley. Goes back into the middle, over the head of Dunlop. At the back is Pickering. Goes in over the top. So too Brown. Hawker is there. The umpire says it's mine.
Wasn't that a magnificent effort again by Larkin on Edgar? He's got tremendous acceleration, Matthew Larkin.
Well, he's been acting captain tonight, and it's been an inspirational performance.
I laugh at that.
Aitken. Over the centre.
Play on.
To a congested half-forward line.
Push. North from there.
Hawker infringing.
Right on it, mate.
Well, Glenn Hawker was hoping to celebrate his birthday next Saturday by playing in the Foster's Cup.
Thank you.
It does look a little remote at this stage.
Thanks, Adrian.
To half-forward, Andrew Cracker. Held when he didn't have it.
Wait. Play on. Jaws.
It's like a Phil cracker, isn't it? That
Just
left
the
foot.
same.
It's
Just the same.
That's it, Steve.
Well, both of them obviously know they can't kick the ball very far, and so do the North Melbourne teammates.
That's it, Steve.
Incredible how that player was allowed to get on his own, but still, there you go.
But they can still hit a pin.
Yeah, terrific short little kick.
Well, if ever there was a nail in the coffin, this would be it. Long way out, Hepburn, kicking from 55. Taken away from the half-back line by Povey. But now Carlton having real trouble penetrating as Smith goes short. McDonald marks on centre wing.
That's it, Rollo. Thank you.
McDonald's kick. Aitken can't take it. Gets up and soccers off the ground towards Brown. He loses it.
Get it out, play on.
Eventually socced by Robertson towards the centre, but only as far as Angus.
Back.
Angus has the ball defensive side of the centre.
Thanks, Stephen.
Kicks quickly towards half forward. North have the numbers. A big punch by Aitken. Robertson is caught. German is caught by Aitken. McDonald. Crocker. Up towards half forward. Cracker gets in front of Blackwell. Johnson gathers. He's caught. Dunlop. Hand pass over to Blackwell. Carlton not really getting anywhere. Now the kick to Hawker. Gleeson tries to shrug the tackle. The tackle was a little high, according to the umpire. Gleeson plays on quickly. The kick a little bit wide, but Povey's able to run onto it pretty well. The left foot kick by Povey close to the line, and the mark is taken by O'Sullivan just inside the boundary line. So Luke O'Sullivan will kick Carlton perhaps to within goal scoring distance. The short kick close to the line, gathered by Kernahan, but he takes it over for a boundary throw in, and Carlton playing like losers at this stage deep into the match.
68 plays 98. Just under 5.5 minutes remaining. Larkin again. It's been sensational tonight. Gleeson couldn't take it at the first attempt. Shane Robertson gets the hand pass away onto Povey. Carlton go into direct half forward. Pushed. Trip.
This is a great effort by North Melbourne. I watched them last year and I thought they're one of the worst sides I'd seen for a long time. Partway through the year, their skill level was deplorable. And to turn around and do what they're doing now is quite remarkable.
Matthew Larkin, and a tired-looking kick from Larkin, but he's done a great deal of work. Across to Peter German. Has a look up towards centre wing. And an attempt to leg Crocker was noticed. Well, they're still running on with it. German has followed play down, elected to go short to Cracker, trying to pick up on the half volley. Couldn't do so, so that opened the door for Blackwell. Hurriedly onto the right boot. Another tired kick looking for Kernahan, who tries to soccer off the ground, but he's got to beat three of them, and Hepburn gives it across to Larkin. Larkin goes wider again towards Smith, and North out of trouble.
Smith's kick is a good one up towards half forward. High over the top, McCarthy on Silvani, backing him up pretty well with Stevens. The kick into the pocket. Is it too deep for Allison? Well, it must have only been centimetres in it, because I think Brett Allison certainly thought the ball was still in the field of play. Boundary umpire will throw it in. Dunlop pushed off it there by McDonald. Crocker. Silvani pushed in the back. Play on now. The advantage rule is paid. Dunlop's long bomb out wide will go over the boundary line. No, it won't. Stephen Kernahan, favoured by the bounce, gets his kick away towards centre half forward. Murphy struggling for possession. He's held by Smith, and Smith probably a little unfortunate there, but certainly the free kick was on. Murphy outside 50 metres. Tries to get around Smith. He does so. Now he's inside 50. Can he kick a goal that may lift the Blues? Murphy's drop punt kick is offline. And surely North would be stiff to lose now with only 3 minutes left. Carlton trail by 29 points.
And those were going through in the second quarter for Carlton, but luck is not running with them now.
It'll be a big ask to get 5 goals in 3 minutes, particularly when Peter German has the football tucked in the back pocket. And will be no major rush. Shane Robertson working behind McRae. Povey gets the handball away onto O'Sullivan. Now a chance for Dunlop, who had an airing. And his second shot heading straight for the post.
Lucky he did have an airing. I don't think he would have kicked the distance with the first one.
So behinds are not what they want. Matthew Larkin. Short again. And again short to Smith.
Ross Smith in the back pocket.
Right on it.
And the experienced campaigners Peter German just a few minutes ago. Now Ross Smith just wasting those precious seconds. The kick out wide. Dunlop a little slow, but he gets the tap to the favour of Brown. He's beautifully tackled by Allison. As Don Scott said earlier, the tackling from North Melbourne is fantastic. A dust up behind play. The kick goes to half forward for North. The mark taken by Blackwell. He kicks it across towards centre half back. Silvani will be run down by McCarthy. Silvani taps it in his own favour. McCarthy, now Silvani really can't tap it out to anyone's favour for Carlton. It now goes towards Brayshaw. Brayshaw's kick off the ground. And the real speedsters of the respective sides, Aitken and Brayshaw. O'Sullivan, nearly motionless. The kick goes back and Crocker takes the mark. He looks to play on.
He was gone, I thought.
Could have been, yes. The kick over McDonald's head. O'Sullivan is caught, legged. Now he taps it out in favour of Herman. Herman onto the right foot. His kick is smothered. The ball at half forward. McCarthy. Buckley. A real struggle. Gee, these players will be tired when that siren sounds. They look exhausted to me as umpire Russo calls for a bounce.
Well, to the credit of Carlton, they're not letting North Melbourne have it their own way. They could capitulate, but they want to go on with it, and they really are battling it out. Credit to Carlton.
Just over a minute remaining. Dunlop tries to flick it back for Murphy. He goes wide to the boundary line, and a tired-looking Ian Aitken and Darren Crocker see it over. So the Roos will be hopping into the grand final. They lead at the moment by 28 points. Next week they come up against the Bombers, but they've been fighting a financial crisis.
Get out! Get out!
As if you haven't been told, and you have now. But they're going to pick up 20,000 tonight. Add that to what they've already earned and what they can earn next week, and it will certainly go a long way in towards helping the club.
Yes, it's a terrific bonus for the teams that are perhaps struggling a little bit financially, and I think it's been mentioned before in this competition that desperate teams really make desperate moves, and North Melbourne, to their credit, great stuff. Cracker trying to burst his way through.
And has lost it.
Tried to do just a little bit too much on that occasion.
Fraser Murphy from the back pocket towards centre wing. There it is. The Roos are into the grand final. Great performance by North Melbourne, who went on with it in the final quarter, kicking 4 goals and restricting Carlton to only 1, even though they kicked the first one. John McCarthy, just going out of fixture, kicked 4 goals, 2 vital ones in the last quarter, and they'll really throw the challenge down to the Bombers, Ian.
Well, I think it's a terrific effort by North Melbourne. I don't think anyone gave them much of a chance in this competition, and they came up against Geelong in their second game and thrashed the Cats. and now they've knocked off Carlton, and there's no doubt that if they can get 20 guys or 22 guys that are prepared to have a go like they did tonight, they're a real chance next week.
So jubilant Kangaroos leave the ground. North Melbourne 14-14, 98 have beaten Carlton 9-16, 70. The Roos are into the grand final. The final scoreline here in the second semi. North 14-14, 98. Carlton restricted to just 1 goal, 2 in the final quarter, 9-16, 70. And so the scene is set for what should be a great grand final next week. The Bombers have had a week off. Coach Kevin Sheedy was out here tonight, and I would imagine would go away scratching his head thinking about North Melbourne, a long, hard thing, because the young, enthusiastic Roos really threw everything at Carlton tonight and put in a great performance. And Don, I must admit, during the break did say, well, I picked North Melbourne at the start, didn't I?
Well, when put on the spot I did, but I had my doubts because I'd watched Carlton and they have really done well in this series, Ian, and they've come back well on occasions. And tonight I thought it was an excellent game, especially in the last quarter. It was there for grabs. Admittedly, a 12-point buffer in favour of North Melbourne. I thought might have been the spur that they wanted. They did. They went on and kicked 4 goals in the last quarter. Up until that stage, hadn't kicked a goal down that particular end of the ground.
Yes, it's amazing how football is played. They set it up in the first term when they kicked 6 goals 4 to 2 goals 3, and then the team that's trailing generally can't quite get. They got to the front, Carlton, at half-time, but it certainly took its toll. And North Melbourne, I thought, was probably the start of that last term that they really didn't stop running, whereas the Blues, with Alvin off injured, he is one of their better running players, certainly missed him. And North Melbourne just kept on running with Matthew Larkin initiating quite a lot out of that defensive line, and John McCarthy doing extremely well up in the full forward line. Hepburn as well doing pretty well in the ruck.
I thought also the kicking of both sides was very good, and it's good to see them starting to go long, using the ball. I preface that word, using the ball long, where it's just not blazing away. When the short pass is on, give it. But they're using the ball much more intelligently over the last couple of weeks, teams. But there were some terrific individual battles. You mentioned about Elvin going off the ground. I thought his effort with Buckley was just a terrific effort. They both picked one another up. They started shoulder to shoulder, and it was just a race for the ball and whoever got it. And I thought all honours were very, very even, and they were both good players. The fellow over running the ball there, Matthew Larkin, I think it was. I thought, yes, it is Matthew. I thought his effort was very good tonight. You know, he did the small things that often go unnoticed, but he was there when it had to be counted. I was also impressed with McRae. The other fellow, Angus, at centre-half back, only had about 3 or 4 kicks, but you couldn't say he was beaten by Kernahan.
Just before we have to cut out of this, I'm a big rap for North Melbourne because of the fact that they've got just that little bit more experience. The statistics there, I reckon the most important statistic there is that North Melbourne have had 27 more handballs than Carlton, and they certainly were effective hand passes.
Marking department also superior, 60-49.
I was just comparing those handballs. Going back to when I played it, always if you get up to 100 and 125 in the mid-70s, you thought you were doing well. And it's good to see the teams now realising, not overdoing the handball. You see they're 69 and 96. You know, the preface more is on the kicking 2 position, which is good to see.
Thank you, gentlemen, for that report. We shall take a break, but be back with more, so stay with us. I'd imagine we'd have a pretty packed house here at VFL Park next week for the grand final. And Don, after the performance tonight by North Melbourne and Essendon's performance last week, what do you think?
I think it'll be a very, very good game. And it's also good to see, and I know a lot of people don't like football people saying this, but to see 2 new teams in there, it's good for football. But I think it'll be a great game, Ian.
Well, a lot's going to depend on the conditions, I think, Sandy. If we can get a fantastic night, I think we can have a terrific clash between 2 sides that are going to figure in the final 5 throughout the season. Yes, augurs well for a great season, and we certainly hope that you can be part of it here on 7, but we look forward to your company next week. Essendon and North Melbourne.
in the final of the Foster's Cup. 8:30. The telecast begins on 7. For now, this is Sandy Roberts saying good night on behalf of the 7 Sport.